My name is Mimah. I never thought I would live to tell this story. I never thought my tongue would be used to confess what my eyes have seen. But God gave me another chance, and He asked me not to stay silent.
The testimonies featured on this channel are presented as received, reflecting the personal experience and perspectives of the individuals who have generously shared them with us. We encourage our viewers to approach these testimonies with compassion and understanding, as these are personal testimonies of people involved. We also encourage you to always refer to the Holy Bible and the teachings of Jesus Christ and His apostles for guidance. You can consider subscribing to the channel to support our ministry.
In every generation, there are stories that shake the soul, stories that make us question everything we thought we knew about life, faith, and eternity. What you're about to hear is not just a story, it is a haunting encounter that will cling to your heart long after the last word is spoken. This is the testimony of a 35-year-old woman born and raised in a devoted Muslim home. Her family was known for their faithfulness to the Islamic traditions. Her father was a man of strong discipline, her mother a woman of strict devotion, and her elder brother, her blood brother, was a respected Islamic preacher, a man admired and feared for his knowledge of the Quran. People would travel far and wide just to hear him recite and interpret verses. To many, he was untouchable, a shining star of Islam. But one terrifying experience changed everything for this woman. An experience she never asked for, one she could never forget, one that dragged her spirit to the edge of eternity and pulled back the veil of what lies beyond the grave. In that journey, she saw things that no human heart can easily bear, and what she saw about her own family left her shaken forever. Tonight, she is here to share her story. It is a story of fear, of tears, of fire, of cries that never end. But it is also a story of shocking truth that will leave you trembling. So, prepare yourself, because what she saw about her brother, about her mother, and about herself will pierce your soul. Let's hear from Mimah.
It all began on a quiet night. I had been fasting during Ramadan, and my body was weak. After breaking fast, I felt a strange heaviness in my chest. At first, I thought it was just exhaustion, but the pain grew sharper, like knives stabbing into me. I tried to cry for help, but my voice was weak. My children were in the other room, and before I could even call their names, my eyes rolled back and everything went dark. I felt my spirit leave my body. It was so sudden, so shocking. I looked down and saw myself lying on the mat, motionless. My lips were slightly open, and my chest was no longer moving. My children were banging on the door, calling my name, but I could not respond. Panic filled my soul as I realized I had left the land of the living. Suddenly, two beings appeared beside me. Their presence was heavy, dark, and terrifying. They had no clear faces, only shadows with eyes like burning coal. They grabbed my arms without speaking, and I felt myself being dragged with a speed that made me scream. My voice echoed, but no one heard me. We descended into a place so black, yet so hot. The darkness itself seemed alive, like it wanted to swallow me whole. The cries of countless souls filled the air, wailing, groaning, begging, but no mercy was given. The smell of burning flesh stung my nostrils, and I covered my face, but the smell was inside me, suffocating me. I cried out, "Ya Allah, please have mercy on me." I was fasting, I was praying, I wore my hijab, I obeyed my mother. But no answer came. Only the dragging continued. Then, as we entered deeper into this pit of torment, I heard a voice that froze my soul. It was a voice I had known since childhood, a voice that once recited Quran in the early morning hours, a voice that had commanded respect in the mosque. I turned and saw him, my blood brother, my brother, the preacher. He was burning. His body was chained and flames wrapped around him like snakes. His tongue Oh, his tongue was being pulled out by hooks, stretched and then cut only to grow back and be cut again. His eyes were swollen with endless tears, but no one cared. He saw me and screamed my name. "Mimah! Mimah! Why are you here? Run! Run from this place before it is too late." I screamed, "Brother! How can you be here? You were a preacher. You led people in prayer. You memorized the Quran. You always told me to cover my head, to obey the prophet, to give zakah. Why are you here?" His cry tore through me. "Mimah, they lied to us. They deceived us. The light we thought was truth was darkness. The words we built our lives on were empty before the throne of the Holy One. Jesus. Jesus is the only way, but I rejected him. I mocked him. I called him just a prophet, but now I know the truth. He is the Son of God. Mimah, flee from this place." I shook my head in disbelief. No, no, no! My brother? The man I admired? The man my parents adored? I screamed until my throat burned. And then from another corner of the flames, I heard a woman's voice crying, "Ya Rab, have mercy." It was my mother, my beloved mother, the woman who raised me with strictness, who always warned me, "Mimah, do not play with your prayers. If you miss salat, Allah will punish you. If you do not wear your hijab, you will be disgraced." I turned and saw her. Her face, once beautiful and strong, was twisted in torment. Her hands were shackled and flames consumed her body, yet she could not die. She looked at me and wept bitterly. My daughter, do not follow me here. Everything I taught you was in zeal, but it was not the truth. I thought I was serving God, but I was blind. Now I am in this fire with no escape. My prayers, my fasting, my sacrifices, they are nothing before the Holy Judge. Only Jesus can save, and I rejected him. Mimah, listen to me. Run from Islam. Run to the cross. I fell to my knees, shaking. The beings that dragged me laughed. They mocked me. One whispered, "You thought your religion could save you? You thought your family's devotion would protect you? Look around. Many preachers, many mothers, many fathers, all burning. The truth is one, but they refused him." At that moment, the flames rose higher. Souls cried louder. My brother screamed for water, but none was given. My mother cried for mercy, but mercy was gone. And I stood there, torn between fear and shock, unable to breathe. Suddenly, a great light appeared in that place. The beings that held me stepped back, trembling. The light pierced the darkness like a sword, and from the light I heard a voice filled with authority, yet also with love. "Mimah, this is not yet your place. I allowed you to see this so that you may testify. Return. Return and tell them that hell is real, and that I, Jesus, am the only way to life." I cried, "Lord, I am not worthy. I am just a woman. My family will kill me if I speak your name." The voice replied, "Fear not, I will be with you. But if you keep silent, the blood of many will be upon your hands. Speak, and I will give you strength." And with that, I felt myself being pulled upward, out of the flames, away from the cries, away from the smoke. My spirit rushed back, and I opened my eyes to find myself on the mat again, my children crying over me. I gasped for air, trembling, soaked in sweat. I had returned. That was only the beginning. When I opened my eyes on that mat, everything around me looked different. My children were holding my hands, crying, "Mama, don't leave us." My body felt heavy, but my spirit was trembling even more. I sat up slowly, my heart beating as though it wanted to break out of my chest. I looked around the room, and for the first time in my life, I saw emptiness. The prayer mat that used to give me comfort suddenly looked like a trap. The Quran on the shelf above me, decorated with gold letters, looked like chains. My ears kept ringing with the screams of my brother, my mother, and the countless souls in fire. I whispered under my breath, "Jesus, Jesus." And instantly, peace swept over me, but I quickly covered my mouth. Fear gripped me. If my children heard me, they might tell my husband, and if my husband heard me, I knew what would come. Shame, beatings, maybe even death. I decided to keep quiet, but that night, sleep refused to come. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my brother's tongue being pulled out. I saw my mother's hands shackled. I heard them crying, begging me not to follow them. For days, I carried this torment in silence, but my body began to grow weaker. I was not eating properly, not praying properly. My husband noticed and asked, "Mimah, what is wrong with you? Why are you so quiet these days?" I shook my head, forcing a smile, but deep down, my heart was crying. How could I tell him the truth when he himself was a devoted Muslim? He admired my brother, often quoting his sermons. If he heard me say my brother was in hell, he would curse me. But I could not hide for long. One evening, after sunset prayer, I was sitting alone in my room, crying silently. My eldest daughter, only 10 years old, came in quietly. She touched my shoulder and said, "Mama, why do you cry at night? Do you see bad dreams?" I wiped my tears and shook my head, but her innocent eyes pierced me. I whispered, "My daughter, promise me you will keep this between us. I saw something when I was sick. I saw a place of fire, and I saw people there. It was real." Her little hands trembled. "Was it like Jahannam, Mama?" I nodded slowly. "Yes, but worse than what we were taught. And my brother and my mother, they were there." Her eyes widened. "But Mama, Grandma was always praying. Uncle was always teaching. How can they be there?" I hugged her tightly, whispering, "Because we were deceived. There is only one way, my daughter. Jesus is the way." She froze in my arms. She didn't answer. She just sat there, breathing heavily. And from that night, I knew my secret was no longer safe. A few days later, my husband came home furious. He stormed into the room and shouted, "Mimah, what is this I hear? You are telling the children nonsense. You are saying your brother is in hell? Have you lost your mind?" My heart sunk. My daughter had spoken. I tried to explain, my voice shaking. "My husband, I died. I died and I saw it with my own eyes. Our brother, our mother, they are in torment. They told me the truth we rejected. Jesus is the way, not what we follow." The slap came so hard I almost collapsed. My ears rang and my lips bled. He shouted again, "Do not ever say that name in this house. You are cursed. Do you want to destroy our children? Do you want to disgrace our family? You are possessed." He locked me in the room for hours, leaving me with nothing but my tears. I pressed my face to the cold wall and whispered, "Lord Jesus, you told me not to be silent, but how can I survive this?" That night, as I lay on the floor, my spirit was caught up again. I do not know if I was sleeping or awake, but I was taken to a place of light. Unlike the fire, this place was filled with peace, with music that no instrument on earth could produce. And there I saw him, the same Jesus who spoke to me in the fire. He looked at me with eyes full of mercy and said, "Mimah, you are afraid because of your husband, your family, your people, but I have chosen you. Through your voice, many will know the truth. Do not fear those who can kill the body, but cannot touch the soul. Fear only God who holds life and death." I fell to my knees and wept. "But Lord, I'm weak. I'm just a woman. I have no education, no power. My husband will kill me if I keep speaking." He lifted me with his hand and said, "My strength is made perfect in weakness. Even your tears will be a testimony. Speak, and I will back you. Remain silent, and you will be consumed by the same fire." I woke up trembling. I could still feel his presence in the room. My face was wet with tears, but my heart was burning with a strange boldness. The next morning, I tried to keep calm, but the fire in me refused to stay hidden. My husband took me to my father's house, accusing me of blasphemy. My uncles, my cousins, even the imam of our mosque were called. I sat in the middle of the room, surrounded by angry faces. "Speak," one of my uncles demanded. "Is it true you're saying your brother is in hell?" My body trembled, but I remembered the words of Jesus, "Do not fear." I lifted my eyes and said, "Yes, I saw him. I saw my mother. They are in fire." And they told me, with their own voices, that only Jesus is the way. They begged me not to follow them there. Gasps filled the room. My father's eyes burned with fury. The imam shouted, "Astaghfirullah, you are possessed. This is Shaitan deceiving you." But I shook my head. "No, I know what I saw. I know the voice I heard. Jesus is not a liar. He is the truth." The room erupted in chaos. Some spat on the ground in disgust. Others shouted for me to be beaten. My father raised his hand to strike me, but I saw fear in his eyes, because deep down he knew how devoted my brother had been. If even he was in hell, then what did that mean for the rest of them? That night, they locked me in again. No food, no water, just darkness. As I sat there, my stomach growling, I heard whispers outside the door, plans to take me to a cleric to deliverance, and if I refused, plans to kill me quietly to protect the family's honor. I pressed my forehead to the floor and prayed, "Lord Jesus, if I die, let me die for you. But if you want me to live, make a way of escape." And as I prayed, I heard his voice again, soft but clear. "Your suffering is not in vain. Hold on, Mimah. I will rescue you."
They kept me in that dark room for 3 days. No food, no water. My lips cracked, my stomach burned, my body weakened. But in those 3 days, I felt closer to Jesus than I had in my entire life. Every whisper of his name brought strength. Every memory of his voice gave me courage. On the 3rd night, I heard my father's voice outside. He said to my husband, "Tomorrow we take her to the cleric. If she refuses to renounce this blasphemy, she will not return to this house alive." My heart raced. They were planning my death. That night, as I lay on the cold floor, a vision came again. I saw myself chained, being dragged toward a fire. But suddenly, the chain snapped, and a door of light appeared. A voice said, "Rise, Mimah, I am opening the way. Walk, and do not look back." I woke with trembling hands and knees. At first, I thought it was just a dream, but then I noticed the window in the corner of the room was open. My father never left it open. I crawled weakly, climbed through, and with tears streaming down my face, I ran into the night. The streets were silent, the moon dim. My bare feet bled as I ran, but something pushed me forward. I did not know where I was going, only that I had to keep moving. I heard dogs barking, the sound of men shouting in the distance, but I hid behind walls, ducked into alleyways, and prayed under my breath, "Jesus, hide me under your wings." After what felt like hours, I reached the outskirts of the town. There, I saw a small house with a cross on the door. My heart leapt. I knocked desperately. At first, no answer. I knocked again, tears choking me. Finally, a man opened the door. He looked shocked to see me, a Muslim woman in her hijab, at his door in the middle of the night. Before he could speak, I collapsed to my knees and whispered, "Please, I need Jesus." His eyes filled with tears. He pulled me inside quickly, locked the door, and called his wife. They gave me water, food, and a blanket. I wept as I told them everything. My death, the fire, my brother, my mother, the voice of Jesus, the persecution. They listened silently, and when I finished, the man held my hands and said, "Sister, you are not alone. Jesus has been appearing to many like you. He saved you for a reason. Tonight, you are home." That night, in that small Christian home, I prayed with them. I confessed with my mouth, "Jesus Christ, you are Lord. You are the Son of God. Save me." And a peace filled my heart like never before. It was as if the flames of hell had been washed away by rivers of living water. But the peace did not erase the danger. Word spread quickly that I had escaped. My family searched everywhere. My name became a curse in their mouths. They said I had betrayed Islam, betrayed my blood. My husband divorced me immediately. My children were taken from me. My father swore I was dead to him. The Christians hid me for weeks, moving me from house to house. Each time I heard footsteps outside, my heart jumped, thinking they had found me. Each time I heard a voice in the street, I trembled. But Jesus' promise echoed in my spirit. "Fear not, I am with you." One night, as I slept, I had another vision. I saw my brother again, still in flames. He looked at me and cried, "Mimah, you escaped, but warn them, warn everyone. Do not let them come here. Speak, even if they hate you, even if they kill you. Do not be silent." I woke, shaking, tears streaming down my face. I knew then, this was not just about me. This was about the countless souls still deceived, still walking toward fire, thinking they are safe. So I began to speak. Quietly at first to the Christians who sheltered me. Then to a few Muslims I trusted. Some laughed at me, some cursed me. But a few listened. A few began to ask questions. A few began to dream of Jesus themselves. The persecution grew. Once, as I walked secretly to meet with believers, a group of young men recognized me. They shouted, "There she is, the apostate!" They threw stones, chasing me through the street. One stone struck my head, and blood ran down my face, but I kept running until I collapsed at a Christian friend's door. As I lay there, weak and trembling, I remembered the words of Jesus. "Blessed are those who are persecuted for my name's sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." That night, I realized something. My brother's cries, my mother's pleas, the screams of the countless souls in fire, they were not just memories, they were a warning. And now I am the warning. I may lose my family, I may lose my children, I may lose my life, but I cannot lose my soul. I cannot lose the one who pulled me out of the flames. So I stand here today, trembling yet bold, broken yet alive, to tell you what I saw. Hell is real. My brother is there. My mother is there. And countless others are there. But Jesus is real too. His love is real, His blood is real, and His arms are open wide. My name is Mimah. I was a Muslim woman, raised in devotion, deceived by tradition. I died and saw the fire. But Jesus rescued me, and now I live to testify. If you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Do not follow the path that leads to flames. Run to the cross. Run to Jesus. This is my story. This is my warning. And this is my hope.